Welcome back to Sunshine Homemaker. So today we are in part 2 of finishing up our most amazing raised bed garden ever, made from a piece of wood furniture. And so now you're watching the steps that go into adhering the tile to the cement board. So right now, mixing up the thin set in the bucket, and I'll have all the step-by-step and amount that you need to mix in the description box below. So sit back and enjoy the process, and you'll be turning in a piece of furniture into a beautiful flower garden, herb garden, vegetable garden before you know it. So a nice trowel that has the pointy teeth on the edge. So now watch the expert. And you can choose something pretty. You don't have to choose some other ugly blah thing. Just pick out something beautiful. It's in your garden and you're going to enjoy it. It's something that's going to bring you joy and happiness. So why not pick out what you want? You don't need that many pieces, so it's not expensive. It's a little tricky with these pieces. So if you're not an expert at laying tile, then I would recommend picking out just your regular, maybe the subway tile pieces that are probably 2 inches by 6 inches, something like that. It just depends on the shape of your garden box, but basically this is 2 inches wide, and so just a regular subway tile would be perfect on this, and as opposed to these little glass pieces that are have mesh on the back of them. So when you go to the home improvement store, you'll be able to see what I'm talking about. You'll be able to pick out. So if you're an expert, then have fun, pick out what you want. If you're a newbie, go with what's the easiest. Now he's just using a box cutter type of a knife. I'm sure there's a more technical term, but that's the only thing I could think of to call it right at the moment. And then what makes it beautiful is you can cut the mesh, see, and then line it up, line the pieces up going down this edge. So now he's adding more thin set. And those just nestle right into the pattern, so it's easy to keep going. It's kind of like doing mosaics, so if you know how to do mosaics, this is a really fun project. So I would definitely classify this with using this type of tile pieces on the mesh backing as mosaics. You don't want your thin set to dry out, so you want to just keep moving right along. Especially if you're in a hot climate area like we are in Florida. So I'll show you a top view when we get it all done, so you'll see how beautiful it turns out. And then once we get it ready in the location where it's going to be going, it's going to be a window box, so it's going to go right outside my office window, which I've always wanted to have a garden window box, and now this is perfect. I looked at this piece of furniture and I said, you know, what else could I do with this thing? It's just, you know, I don't need it just to be another piece of, you know, storage in my home. I didn't need that. So then I thought, you know, you can turn a piece of furniture into a useful piece outside of your home just as easily inside the home. You just have to add a few types of sealers and things like that. So that's why the cement board goes on top of the wood to protect the wood. And then that's why the rest of the wood we're going to paint, even though it's been stained. So we'll paint it, and then that will protect the rest of the wood. And it'll be up under the eave of the home. But of course we have hurricanes here in Florida, but it will be a very heavy piece once it's completed. It was already pretty heavy to begin with, but now with the cement board and the tile and the thin set, that adds to the weight. And we're going to be putting rock, ground up concrete rock under the legs of it, so on the top of the dirt, so it won't be just sitting right on top of the dirt. So that allows drainage, so it will help prevent the legs from rotting so quickly. But we'll continue to paint and use a clear coat to protect it so it won't rot. It will last for a long, long time. So be on the lookout for more unusual and unique and amazing items that you can transform and put into your garden to use as a raised bed garden. If you went back and looked at the one we did with the boat, that was pretty cool. That was fun. And now we're doing furniture. The boat was very heavy, so it takes two people to maneuver it, especially when you're going to lift it up and put it on something. That was quite an ordeal for him to do by himself. But you'll never run out of conversations when people come to your garden to admire it and see all the unusual and unique and fun things that you've done with your garden. You don't have to be stuck with just blah, ugly planters or expensive ones. That's the other thing. Beautiful ceramic planters are so expensive. So unless you find them free on the side of the road or at a thrift store or a garage sale inexpensively, this is a way that you can have a beautiful garden box in your yard without the huge cost. So the materials to do this piece of furniture we found at a garage sale for $5. The tile was, I believe, like $2 a sheet. We bought 4 sheets, so that's $8. And my husband, because of his business, he's always has bags of thin set and grout on hand. And unless you're doing a huge square footage, you'll have plenty, available and left over. So you can buy them in different size bags. You don't have to get a huge, bag. And then we're going to use a bone color grout because the glass tiles are a lot of earth tones, but there's a cream color, so that's going to just be beautiful. I didn't want a dark brown, I wanted something light. So we're going with what we have already on hand. Okay, now the little other side, and then he's now marking in where the little spaces are. So he had to evaluate what was going to be the most quickest way, the less time consuming way to get this done. So because of the mesh backing, the little pieces would fly off. So again, if you're not an expert, don't start off with glass tiles like this that are on the mesh backing. Start with just individual long pieces. And my recommendation would be to start with making a mosaic stepping stone, just to get the feel of using the thin set and the grout and getting the right consistency. You can get the thin set already made in a little bucket. That's what I did when we did our mosaic stepping stones. Okay, now he's applying it to the back. Always wipe off the excess. So it's a beautiful breezy day here in our backyard habitat. Yesterday, our neighbor killed a 5-foot rattlesnake in our backyard, eating one of our squirrels, of all things. I was wondering what was happening to my squirrel community. We had 5 to 6 and we were down to 2, and I said, what is going on? Now I know. Poor babies. We had a few mice and those were gone. Of course, I didn't mind that. Now with a damp sponge, he's coming and he's cleaning off the tops. Always have a bucket of clean water on hand. It's just easier if you clean. As you go, you don't want that hardening on there. Keep your sponge clean. See how pretty and shiny the glass tiles look. It's going to reflect the sun. So beautiful. That's why I went with the glass. Absolutely going to be beautiful. I am so super excited about this. Now he's going to work on this other end. And we have this last ledge to finish. And then he'll cut the small little pieces that need to be fitted, but we won't film that because that'll be too time consuming. Applying the thin set to the back of this one. putting a puzzle together, so you have to keep moving it to get it to where it fits perfectly. Okay, so the two ends with the full sheets and then the cut puzzle pieces. Now we're going to fill in the rest of this side over here. Okay, that fits. Looking good. What do you think? You like it so far? Look at how pretty that is. So I took an ugly wooden piece of furniture and turned it into a beautiful outside raised bed flower herb garden. So now I'm going to be on the lookout for other odds and ends of furniture that we have that I'm not using. I have some little end nightstand tables, I think is what they're probably more known for, and but again, it's just excess that I don't need. They're pure solid wood, which is really nice, instead of the cheapy pressed wood. So that's the only reason why I haven't done anything with them, because my husband's always saying he doesn't want the cheapy stuff, so we buy the vintage real wood. I'll go out in a minute and show you all the way around so that you can see all the little spaces that he's going to have to come back and cut individually and fill those in. He has to use his wet saw, which is extremely noisy, and that's in the front of the house, and it's heavy, so he can't move it around here. He's going to try to use his little hand wet saw, so if he can do that, then we'll show you that. But if it doesn't want to cut it right, then we'll have to go to plan B, which is the big heavy duty commercial wet saw. Oops, sorry about that. I got distracted there for a minute. Okay, so now what he's doing is he's peeling off from the sheet, and he's trying to find pieces that will fit in the spaces that he needs. So we'll see how this goes. Okay, so now he's going to mark it. Okay, so he has his red Sharpie. So he's marking it there so he knows where he needs to cut it. All right, if he's going to use something noisy, okay, I got to get my headphones on, so let me set you back down. Oh. This is that heavy-duty blade he used yesterday to cut the cement board. Okay, get ready for noise. Of course, the little small piece he needs flew off. Oh, well, that's going to work. He doesn't even need to use the wet saw. Well, that's pretty cool. All right, he needs more cement. So that's it for today. So we'll come back and I'll show you once he fills in all the little pieces. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you'll subscribe, give this video a thumbs up, and leave us a comment and let us know, have you recycled a piece of furniture and turned it into any kind of a raised bed garden, a flower box? And let us know. Thanks so much. Have a great day. Bye-bye.